My name is Dmitry and I'm the portfolio manager, trader, and together with Bitsgap team, we are working on the automated trading optimization and development. So today the agenda is to cover very specific topics. First of all, I will provide you with optimal strategies and optimal settings for automated trading bots. We'll also share some of the use cases and practical tips that are related to high frequency trading bots that we have. The S-bot, the classic bot, and the scalper. I will also reveal you some of the, well, maybe not secrets, but some practical tips related to demo trading and how you can use it to optimize your own trading and to discover new strategies absolutely risk-free. So that is something really cool that we have, and I will cover this topic in depth today. We will also go through the risk management that is used in automated trading, like stop loss, extreme pump and dumps, so how the system avoids them, and some other tricks. Backtesting, so I will tell you exactly what the backtesting is all about, how to use it to validate and generate trade ideas. Profit maximization techniques used in all of the bots, differences between the S-bot and the scalper, and the new topic for today will be loss minimization on the downtrend. So what is basically active hodling versus passive hodling, and the grid mechanism which is used in our high frequency trading. So first of all, what is high frequency trading? Well, high frequency trading is a part of the automated trading algorithm, which is implemented to make the bot execute trades at a very high level of speed. So basically manually you won't be able to keep up with the high frequency trading. And for those of you who don't know, approximately 60% of all trades that are happening on the traditional markets, stocks, bonds, and other, 60% accounts to automated trading. So using automated trading gives you an advantage, all right, because you can use computation power to execute trades at a very high level of speed, and you don't have to monitor the action 24/7. You don't have to stay in front of your computer for a long period of time. All you have to do is just from time to time, maybe a couple of times in 3 days, just to check how the bot is performing for you. So here's the perfect visualization of high frequency trading in action. And as you can see, I have a list of some active trades, active bots in this case. So for instance, the highest one is Bitcoin Cash trading to USDT. And as you can see, I have in total 2,600 trades that occurred during this period of time. So starting from the 16th of April, there were like 27 days, and that means approximately 4 trades per hour, like without any stop. So manually you wouldn't be able to do this, but that's not the highest amount of trades that you can see in our automated trading. There are actually some trades. For instance, I can show you right now. I have in total 12,000 trades only within the period of 18 days for NG trading to BTC. So ask yourself, can you make 12,000 trades within this period of time? I doubt so. So the idea is that the bot is buying low and selling high, like this. And each time it buys low and sells high, it accumulates passively profit for you in the quote currency. All right, it buys low and sells high. It doesn't matter what is the trend direction, because the bot is completely indifferent towards the price direction. It just looks for the opportunities to buy low and sell high. So tell me how many of you are actually using automated trading strategies, maybe on Bitsgap, maybe you are using some other platforms, maybe you have your own automated trading strategies which you implement through the TradingView, because on TradingView there are also some scripts that you can create and create your own automated trading. So yeah, just share with me how many of you are using automated trading and how frequently. Okay, I see. Okay, great. Quite many of you are using automated trading. Okay, that's great. So for those of you who are completely newbies into this, I will explain during this webinar how you can apply simple strategies already today. And before that, I will explain what is the logic, the algorithmic approach used in Bitsgap bots. So the mechanism itself is called the grid, and grid itself is nothing more than just a simple limit order. It's either buy order or sell order. So if you have, let's say, 100 grid levels, that means that you have in total 100 of limit orders, and that can be buy and sell orders, or that can be only sell orders, or that can be only buy orders. And here is a perfect visualization for you of sell orders, like grid sell orders, and buy orders. And you can see that in order to set the trading bot, you must have enough of the base currency. In this case it's Cardano, and quote currency. So the quote currency is going to be used in our buy orders to buy the base currency, and our base currency will be used to sell it to USDT. All right, so here how it works. First of all, you have to define the trading range, and if you don't want to define the trading range, then the system at Bitsgap will automatically define the trading range for you. But in any case, you can always adjust it. And in this example, I have 4 sell limit orders and 4 buy limit orders. So in total, we have 8 grid levels. And notice that there is another term which is called grid spacing. Spacing is between these levels, and the system maintains this level automatically. So as the price is moving, and you can see it has moved downwards and it has triggered the buy limit order, that means that the bot will now buy, in this case BNB, using Ethereum. And as soon as it buys it, new sell limit order will be placed right above the executed buy limit order. So it's the mechanism of never-ending trading, basically. So each time the bot buys, it places a sell limit order, and each time the price triggers the sell limit order, it places new buy limit order. So here, as you can see, we have buy limit order triggered, and then automatically sell limit order is placed, maintaining this grid spacing level. You see that the price then moves upwards and triggers this newly set sell limit order. What does that mean? It means that automatically new buy limit order will be placed. Later the price again moved downwards and it triggered the buy limit order, and the system will automatically set new sell limit order. Again, you see the price moved upwards, it triggered the sell limit order, and guess what? Yes, it will place new buy limit order. So as simple as that. So that means that each time it sells the base currency, it will use your proceedings from this sell, like a part of it, to place a new buy limit order to buy the base currency at a lower price and then again sell it higher. That's the way of how it passively for you generates profits. You can always, you can also use only sell limit orders. And in order to have only sell limit order, so you must have enough of the base currency to execute the bot. And I will show you some examples. So here on the main page, you go to the bot section, and here you have a nice chart which you can zoom out and zoom in and stretch it in any way you want. You see that I already have some active bots trading for me, but we will come back to this a little bit later. And on the right side you have strategies. So these are the recommended strategies based on the price action happening on the market. So it identifies the most prominent and in terms of return and risk ratio best cryptocurrencies at that time. So in this case it uses backtest results from the last month. So based on these historic prices, you see that it has revealed some of the cryptocurrency pairs that you can trade today. Let's say ARPA to USDT, it has made 21% within the period of 1 month. And when you click on it, and maybe we can click on IOTA trading to USDT, you see that the system automatically places the trading range for you, and the trading range here is defined by the upper limit price and the lower limit price, which you can actually set manually if you want, like this. All right, maybe like this if you want to have a wider zone, and the upper price, which can be, let's say, 23. And you see that each time I adjust my trading range, my grid spacing is also adjusting. And actually I'm gonna use demo mode, my absolutely risk-free account, on which I have $100,000, and here I'm gonna test. So let's once again switch to IOTA trading to USDT. So if you want to make the trading range using the chart, simply drag the upper limit price in any direction you want and drag the lower limit price also in any direction that you want. So from my point of view, this is the best way and the fastest way of how you can optimize your trading range. And as you can see, I have sell limit side and I have buy limit side. So that means that in order for me to initiate this bot, I must have enough of the base currency so that the bot would be able to place all of these sell orders. Because if you want to sell something, you must possess it, right? So in this case, you must have the base currency, IOTA, to initiate the bot. And it tells me that Actually, let's use 40 grid levels. It tells me that I don't have enough USDT. So if you see something like that, I will close my BAT USDT just to take enough of the USDT to initiate the next bot, just for the sake of the example. So now you see that I have USDT, which I can use to open my IOTA USDT. So it tells me that currently investment is valued at 1,400. I can actually adjust it. But for this setup, it tells me that I must either have at least that amount of USDT, or if I don't have it, I can adjust the grid quantity. Once again, let's say 1,300. All is good. But if I place, let's say 800, it tells me that to start this board with this amount of grid levels, I must have that amount of USDT. But let's say I don't have it. I click on adjust grid levels, so it reduces the quantity of grid levels to 57 from 71, and now I can initiate the bot. So I need to have 1,700 IOTA on my balance, and I must have quote currency, USDT in this case, in amount of 457. And the question is, what you can do if you don't have that amount of IOTA on your account right now to initiate the bot? Well, you can simply click on Start Bot, and it will automatically tell you that in order to start, you must have that amount of IOTA, blah blah blah. And if you don't have it, we will buy it for you at the market price. So that is a really cool thing that we have at Bitsgap, when you just simply click on yes, buy it, and the system will place the market buy order to buy that required amount of IOTA to initiate the bot. And now you can see that I have IOTA trading to USDT in my active bots, and when I click on the view button, I can see all of the open orders. That's exactly 57 grid levels. So I have buy orders, a proportionate distribution, so it will buy that amount of IOTA at that price in case if it drops to this level. And since I bought IOTA to initiate the bot, now all of my sell orders are placed, and you see the proportionate distribution of my IOTA, and the price is displayed on the right side. If you click on the active bot, which is already trading for you and has some trades, then click on view and you can see all of the completed orders. And here you can get an in-depth information regarding the fees that you paid. So that's once again a unique thing that we have at Bitsgap. No other platforms calculate the fees for you. So the bot profit and the total profit actually that you see is net of all fees. So it deducts fees. So that's what I call the full financial transparency, when you don't have to waste your time to calculate how many fees that you paid. We have this process fully automated for you, so you know exactly the pure profit that you've generated. So when I see the bot profit, that is exactly how much money my bot has managed to accumulate for me, net of all fees. All right. So another way of using grids is let's say you want to have only sell orders because you expect the price to start moving from that point already. So you don't expect the price to have some downside swings. All right, you expect it to start moving upwards from that point. It may be risky because when you have only the sell set up, that means that you're only exposed to, well, initially you are only exposed to the base currency. So let's say the price starts moving downwards instead of moving upwards, and your investment will depreciate significantly because you were exposed to such a huge amount of base currency. And the way it works is displayed here. So here's the trading range, and let's say that the price has triggered the first sell limit order. It executes it, and then it places the buy limit order. So remember, I told you that each time the sell occurs, new buy limit order will be placed. And the opposite logic works in case if the buy limit order is executed, and that means that the sell limit order will be placed right above this price automatically. And here the same logic maintains, and if the price will start moving even higher, it will execute all of these sell limit orders and buy limit orders will be placed here. So that's the idea. Let me show you the setup with only sell side. Let's use once again strategies on the right side, and this time let's use, okay, let me check what currencies I have on my balance. Well, I have BTC. Okay, so let's look for some strategies that are trading to BTC. Let's say power to BTC, and let's adjust the lower limit price so that we only have the sell side like this. So as you can see, it tells me that in order to initiate the bot, I must have enough of the base currency, in this case power, and the amount is displayed right here. Notice that if I had the buy side, in this case, I would have a slightly different investment distribution. I would have that amount of power, all right, and I would have a 0.04 BTC in the buy side to buy the power, all right. So this is how it works. There are actually two options for you, the advanced and the simple one. So the difference basically is that in the advanced section you can see this investment distribution, and you also have the stop loss function and the trading up function, which I will explain to you a little bit later. Now let's move on and talk about the optimal strategies using trading up and stop loss functions. So here is an example. I had on my real account BNB trading to USDT, which I placed with only 28 grid levels and with a total investment amount of $322. And I used the SBOT strategy, and I had a trading up function on. So that basically means that my trading range was following the upside momentum, and I will show you this in 3 minutes. And I also took into account the minimum requirements from the Binance to initiate the bot. So here you can see that there is a minimum order size of $10. So that means that you can only place orders, like the amount of grid levels, based on the currently available balance, and all of these specifications. So here's BNB trading to USDT, and as I said, I had 28 grid levels. You see that the price started to move upwards in the direction as I predicted, and the problem here is that I got stuck with many buy limit orders below the price action, which was happening here. So the upside momentum was so intense that I didn't have enough didn't have enough downside price swings so that my grid levels would be triggered. But if I had more grid levels, let's say 70, in this case I would have a even more narrowed setup, so my grid levels would be closer to each other, and that means that on this upside momentum I would have more chances to capture, to seize as many price swings as possible, and I wouldn't get stuck with so many buy limit orders below the price action. So the idea here is that I should have opened this bot with more of the grid levels so that I would be able to seize as many price swings as possible on this quite intense price appreciation. All right, so that's something unique when it comes to different cryptocurrencies. So in this case, the setup, like the optimal one, would be 70 grid levels, but for other cryptocurrencies the situation can be slightly different. For example, NG trading to BTC, I had 54 grid levels in total. With that amount of investment in BTC, I used the SBOT strategy, and I also took into account the minimum requirements from the Binance. And as you can see, starting from the 9th of May, the price has significantly appreciated, and it looks like 54 grid levels is a pretty much optimal setup for this particular cryptocurrency, NG trading to BTC. And as you can see, it has managed to execute in total 12,000 trades only within a period of 18 days. So it has managed to seize in total 12,000 price swings that occurred during this period of time. All right, and let me show you some of my other active bots right now. For instance, Bitcoin Cash trading to USDT. So here you can see that we are in the sideways market, which is ranging from 214 up to 276. And during this period of time, the bot has managed to accumulate that amount of profit for me. But notice that I just had $48 investment in this bot, but 15% is quite an impressive result for the sideways market. Let's look for some other examples, maybe on my real account. So here you can see that I have BNB trading to USDT. That's exactly the example that I just showed you in the presentation. And as you can see right now, I have quite many buy limit orders, because as you can see, I haven't changed the amount of grid levels. So I should have closed this bot and reopen it with let's say I would open it with 50 of the grid levels, but that depends on the balance currently available for me, because the more of the grid levels you want to place, the more is the investment requirement for you. Let's see what is going on with the NG trading to BTC. Yeah, that's exactly the same as I shown you in the presentation. And I also have Litecoin trading to BNB. Here is an interesting situation. So I entered the trade, I executed the bot at that point of time, so that was the 5th of May, as I expected the price to go further upwards. Yeah, let me highlight this for you. I'm gonna remove all of the drawings. I'm gonna use this one. Let's use the white one. So you see, I've noticed that the LTC trading to BNB cryptocurrency pair was respecting the support level, and it was bouncing off it almost each time. As you can see, it moved towards the support level and then bounced off again, bounced off. So that's why I entered the trade here. But what happened is that it managed to break the support level and go even further downwards, right to the very bottom of the price. And I got stuck with all of my trades here because I didn't have a wider trading zone to capture all of the price action here. So my trading range was, at the time of the initiation, approximately here. So I had some buy limit orders and I had a wider sell zone because I expected the price to continue moving upwards. So I thought that I'd rather have more sell orders than buy orders, because I think the price will start moving upwards starting from today. But you see, if I had a wider zone, in this case, I wouldn't skip the price action that happened here. But as I said, it depends on the price. It depends on the volatility, it depends on the current market conditions. So yes, making mistakes is something that happens, but you don't have to get upset about it. You must just simply take the lesson out of it. So the idea here, like the optimal one, would be to use the stop loss and then to reopen my bot at the very bottom, like right here, because you can see that I have a very strong support level over here, which means that there are quite high chances of the price bouncing off this level. So right now, this can be a trade opportunity to start the bot from here. And let's come back to the presentation. As I started telling you about the trade ideas that you can find on the chart, there are some other sources where you can find trade ideas. For instance, as I already shown you, there are recommended strategies. So these are the trading pairs that have the best price momentum, and it has a better volatility right now, which you can take advantage of applying automated trading. And there is a backtesting. So what is backtesting? Backtesting is actually another key feature that we have at Bitsgap, and no other platforms have it in a way that we implemented it. It allows us to find trade ideas. So here's how. Based on the historical prices, I can evaluate the volatility and risk to return ratio. So here's the example: NG trading to BTC, and starting from the 11th of April till the very high, 66%. So from that point to that point, 66% appreciation, and then a consequent drop down in like only 34%. And during this period of time, the backtest is telling me that the bot would have made 34% in profit. Another example is BNB trading to BUSD, that's the stable coin. You see that again from the 11th of April, from that point till that point, like till the very sorry, once again, yeah, so it was 35% of the price appreciation till that point, and then a consequent drop down, minus 23%. And within this period of time, the bot, if I would initiate it, it would accumulate 13% in the quote currency. So combining this, like taking it into consideration and applying the comparative analysis, here's what I have. For NG and BTC, my bot profit would be 34%, according to the backtest result. And for the BNB, it would be only 13%. So here is an obvious advantage of the NG, because the return is higher by 21%. However, the downside risk for NG is higher than the downside risk that was for BNB, and in this case it's higher by 10%. So how to choose the right cryptocurrency pair for you? So if you are looking for maximized return but you are indifferent towards the risk, then you should have considered NG, because you see that it had higher bot profit and it had a higher upside momentum. However, the downside risk was slightly higher comparing with BNB, whereas BNB would offer you lower return, but the risk would be also lower. So that would be an option for those looking for a minimum, for a optimal and minimized risk. And if we divide the bot profit by the downside risk, we will find out what is the cost of 1% in profit. So dividing bot profit by the downside risk, 34 by 34, that would be 1%. So that means that for each percent profit of NG, we take 1% risk. But if we divide the bot profit of BNB on the downside risk, you see that for a given profit there would be a higher risk. All right, so that's why you have to be very elaborative when it comes to comparative analysis in backtesting. So if you are looking for the best risk to return ratio, so here it looks like NG has the highest one. It's 1-to-1, all right? Whereas BNB has a higher risk for a given 1% of return. However, in total, like in general, the downside risk for BNB was slightly lower than for NG. So in order to achieve maximize return on the sideways and the on the upside momentum, you should apply the training up function. So what is the training up function is all about? So as you can see here on BNB, I have as displayed the T letter, which stands for training up. So that means that at the time of initiation I had my trading up feature on. And you see that the high price and low price for BNB was 15.97. So let's find it out on the chart. 15.97. All right, here it is. Let's use the white one and highlight it. All right, and the low price of my trading range was 14.74 right here. So that was my trading range. And as I had my trading up function on, you see that my trading range has followed the price appreciation, and right now my trading range is right here. So using the trading up function, I'm always in the game. So by doing this, like by switching on the trading up function, I am not skipping the price action. And notice how precisely the trading up is following the price, and you can see that it is right now, like the trading range right now is exactly like it is placed in a way as I would expect it to be if I would just initiate the bot right now. So if I would open the trade for BNB and USDT right now, I would place exactly the same trading range for BNB and for BNB trading to USDT, because we are in the sideways market right here. But with trading up function on, I don't have to do this for my BNB to USDT, which I initiated 17 days ago, because it perfectly has managed to follow the price, and now my price action is happening exactly in the trading range where I would expect it to be. So it is defined by the resistance level right here and the support level right here. That's perfect. And let me further elaborate this trading up function for you. Let's use the drawing tool, and yeah, for some reason it's lagging a little bit. I have to, yeah, sorry for that. It seems like I have to reload the page. All right, so here's what. Let's say our trading range is here, and all of the price action is happening always in the trading range. All right, and now let's use the drawing tool, the brush, and let's make it yellow, and let's assume that the price is moving within its boundaries like this. That's great. The bot is trading for us because the price stays within the trading range. But what happens if the price approaches the upper limit price and then eventually it breaks it? So with the trading up function, my trading range would follow the price appreciation like this, and then my trading range will be defined by new upper limit price and new bottom limit price. Let's say then later the price starts moving downwards like this. That's great, because again you see that the price action is happening within the trading range boundaries. But what happens if the price eventually breaks the support level? It breaks the lower limit price. right here. In this case, my trading range won't be following the price depreciation, so it's gonna stay exactly where it stays right now. So this is the mechanism to to protect you from the further downside. And the idea of trading up is to only follow the price appreciation, and let's say from that point the price then bounces off and again it re-enters the trading range. So at the point when it re-enters the trading range, the trading will continue once again. So each time the price is below the trading range, like here, there won't be any trades executed by the bot. But when the price comes back to the trading range, then the trading will continue. So we are in a game once again. And from here, if the price then breaks the upper limit price and now establishes a new higher high, our trading range will be adjusted accordingly. So once again it will follow the price appreciation. So that's exactly what is happening with my BNB right now. Remember the trading range, which was over here. Now my trading range is completely in a different zone. It's much higher. It's over here. And I'm taking all of the price action which is happening right here. So I let my bot to follow the price and to accumulate the profits for me almost endlessly. All right. So all I have to do is just to monitor the market from time to time to see if it's still optimal to hold into this trade, or it's maybe finally time to close it and to reopen it. So once again, optimal market scenarios for all of the bots that we have here. It's the S bot, which provides high efficiency and generates maximized return within the investment limit. For the classic bot and for the scalper, optimal scenarios are the sideways market and the upside market. That's the way of how you can participate not only in the price appreciation, not only in the value growth of your base currency, but you can accumulate the profits in the quote currency in this case. So basically you let the bot to use your base currency to generate extra profits for you. That's the idea. So the trading guide would be to choose the ticker, choose the right bot for this ticker, and in 5 minutes I will explain to you what are the primary differences between our bots. Then later, the third step would be to adjust the grid quantity based on your balance, based on your allocated amount of base currency and quote currency. Set the stop loss if you want. That's the basic principle of risk management. Set the trading up function if you want to follow the price appreciation and you want your trading range to follow the price action, and simply monitor the market. So make sure that you are not staying in front of your computer 24/7, otherwise you would become a crazy trader and you would make many mistakes, because sitting in front of your computer for a long time, that can be quite harmful. So make sure that you monitor your automated trading bots activity, but not on the 24/7 basis. All right, because you are only required to spend most of your time on the setup, because that's the plan that the bot will follow. So you only have to make sure that you have a decent plan for a selected cryptocurrency pair. So yeah, as I mentioned, optimal scenarios would be an upside market, which allows the bot to not only participate in the price appreciation of BNB, which you have on your balance, but you let the bot to use this BNB to accumulate extra profits for you, in this case Ethereum. So it is looking for the market opportunities where it can buy low and sell high, like this. So that's what we call profit maximization. So that's the active investment change, where you are affected by the value change appreciation in this case, and the additional value that the bot brings to you in Ethereum. Same applies to the sideways market. The idea here is to earn during this stagnation. So once again, you let the bot to find opportunities on the market to buy low and sell high, even though the price stays in the neutral zone. So this the sideways market is basically the stagnation. It's neither going upwards nor going downwards, so it always stays somewhere in between. All right, so use this market formation to let the bot accumulate profits for you. Don't blindly hodl BNB. Let the BNB to earn profits for you in Ethereum. That's the idea. All right, so here are some of the examples. It's Bitcoin to USDT, and here you can see that the investment change is 14%, and the bot profit here is 6%. So that means that the bot, like itself, it made 6%, but taking into account that the price of the BTC was appreciating during this period of time when the bot was trading for you and making profits in USD, the total investment change would be 14%. So it takes into account the price appreciation of BTC and the added value that the bot has managed to accumulate for you. So these 6%, they are already priced in the investment change. So that's the added value effect. That's the profit maximization. Same here, Bitcoin trading to Euro. Same here, Lisk trading to USDT. All right, again, 0.65% is the added value to the investment change. So yes, at Bitsgap we are constantly looking for new ways of how to effectively use automated trading to optimize, to maximize profits on the sideways and the upside momentum. And what we also have is secure trading mechanisms. For instance, we have SBot, and with the launch of SBot, which was approximately, I think it was a month and a half ago. Yeah, so with the SBot implementation, final deployment, we now have a feature which avoids extreme pump situations, because otherwise, like in this case, on the left side there is a chart here. You see that here is the pump, and without the optimization that we currently have, like the majority of your trades by orders would be executed at the very top right here, and then you see a consequent drop down, and that means that basically you would buy very high and then would be significantly affected by the price depreciation. So that's something you want to avoid. You don't want to buy high and sell low. The idea is to buy low and sell high. And with optimization that we have in SBot, you see that it didn't capture this pump momentum. So you see the smooth price action right here. So that's the way of how we make sure that you have a secure trading. So we don't let our bots to let you get stuck in the unprofitable area like here. And there is a loss minimization on the downtrend. So here's the example. It's data trading to BTC. So let's assume that you are a hodler. So let's say you bought data at that price and then did nothing about it. So you just bought it and it lays in your portfolio and you are doing nothing about it. So you expect the price to appreciate so that in some period of time in the future you will sell it for a higher price. All right. But what happens here is that if you would hodl from that point of time until that point of time, you would have a depreciation by 4%. So your investment change would be minus 4%. All right. But what happens when we apply automated trading strategies to let the bot accumulate profits for us, regardless of the price direction? So in this case, the investment change would only be minus 2% because of the added value that the bot has managed to add to our investment. So these 4% in profit generated by the bot during this period of time, you see here are like green circles, they represent buy orders, and red circles, they represent sell orders. So during that period, it was buying low and selling high, and that is exactly how much it has managed to accumulate for you. And this is the added value. This is how it offsets the negative effect that you would have otherwise if you would simply hodl the data. So without proper automation, without proper investment, strategy diversification, you would have minus 4%. But with automation using bots, you have only minus 2%. So that's what we call a loss minimization effect. Demo trading, that's what I already shown you. But once again, let me explain to you. Demo trading is about absolutely risk-free trading, which allows you to test as many strategies, as many bots as possible. And you want to have this opportunity to discover optimal strategies for you. All right. So I'm using demo trading, demo mode, my demo account, to find best setups for my bots. All right. So I'm testing using trading up. I'm testing bots without trading up, but with wider buy and sell zone. I mean, with wider trading range. I'm also testing bots without the stop loss. I'm testing them with the stop loss. So that's the idea. And I'm also testing backtest results, which I have right here. By the way, I forgot to show you how to use the backtest. Simply go to the advanced section, click on show backtesting results, and here you go. You see that the date range is already predefined. It takes the last month, which you can always also adjust in any way you want. Let's say we wanted to consider only the period since the 1st of May till the, let's say, 20th of May. So that's gonna be how many days? 20 days. So for this period, you see that the system is telling us that if you would initiate the bot at that time until that point of time, it would make for you 3.9% in profit in USDT, all right? And it also shows you the amount of trades that would have occurred during this period of time, at which price it would buy, at which price it would sell. And you can use this to find optimal cryptocurrency pairs that offer best returns for a given risk for you, all right? And I already shown you in the presentation how to apply backtesting to compare different cryptocurrencies in terms of risk and return. And here's another example. Let's say ION trading to USDT. Once again, I click on the show backtesting results, and starting from the 28th of April till today, the bot would make 19% in profit for me in USDT once again. So in annualized, it would be plus 233%. So that's what we are working on here. We are looking for strategies that would allow you to achieve the highest return on the market. Now let's talk about the differences between the SBot and some other. So the idea of the SBot is to trade using only allocated investment amount. So let's say here it's 1,800. So it's designed, it's like the mechanism, its algorithm is designed to trade only using this investment amount, trading only within this investment boundary. But when it comes to the classic bot, what can happen is that it can go beyond the investment, so it can take extra available balance from your account simply to initiate other trades. All right, that's due to the technical specifications, and you can read more about it in our blog. So here what you have to understand is that when the price is going upwards and you are using the classic bot, it can use extra money, like it goes beyond the investment which you allocated to this bot, and if the price keeps appreciating, then taken from your balance extra amount of money would increase your total investment value, and that means that you would make more profits. But at the same time, let's say if the price goes downwards, in this case you would have higher losses. All right, so that's something you have to keep in mind than using the classic bot. It has all of the security tools that we implemented with the SBot, all right. It is also designed to support extreme pumps and dumps scenarios to avoid them, but the key difference is that it can take extra money from your available balance, which can be at some point of time, if the price is going upwards, can be beneficial for you, but if the price is going downwards, it's going to be the opposite effect for you. With the SBot, it tries to stay within the investment boundary. All right, so that's like more secure, more strict in terms of investment allocation. And with the SBot implementation, we now have in total possible grid quantity of 200. So before that it was only 100. No, actually it's telling me now 180 for this cryptocurrency pair. All right, so it's 180, but before that it was only 100. All right, and it was also the minimum amount of 20, and now you can set the bot with the minimum amount of only 10 grid levels. So that means that you would be required to have less amount of money in comparison with this setup where you have 20 grid levels. All right, So with having this minimization from 20 to 10, you can now initiate bots with lower balances. The scalper is currently in the beta mode, and it offers the highest frequency trading in comparison with other bots. And currently it looks like this. So you see that you are not able to adjust the upper limit price and the lower limit price, and here you have a extensively wider buy zone. So it's approximately 90% of all grid levels here are proportionately distributed in buy zone. And optimal scenarios to use the scalper is once again during the sideways and the upside momentum. So let's say if you would initiate the bot at that point of time, right here, at that price, having so many grid levels which are distributed very, how to say, very close to each other, you would be able to seize without any doubts approximately from 90 to 100 of all price actions here. So because they are so tight to each other, it's basically impossible for the bot to not being able to seize the price action. All right, and soon, probably within the next 2 weeks, you will be able to adjust the trading range for the scalper, and most importantly, you will be able to apply stable strategies. So what does that mean? Well, stable strategy stands for trading on stablecoin pairs like GUSD to USDT. So you know that the idea of stable coins is to trade to $1. But as we have different stable coins on the market, and due to liquidity differences and due to some manipulations that are happening on the market, sometimes these stable coins are not trading at $1, and that is why we have a perfect sideways market opportunity. Basically, this sideways market is endless, you see? And using the scalper, using this setup with so tightly distributed, I mean, located limit orders, you would be able to basically have an arbitrage on the market. You would be able to profit on the market inefficiency. You see, that's the idea, and that is something what is coming within the next 2 weeks. So stay tuned, and with the implementation of this new feature, I will provide you with more use cases. So as soon as it will be launched, I will instantly open the bot for the stablecoin strategy, and I will show you the results during the next webinar. So yeah, by the way, we are currently participating in the OKEX Elite Trading Team contest. So as you can see here is the amount of members that are currently in the Bitsgap team. So join the team, and together we will be able to compete for the first place, and they actually offer some very decent rewards. And to read more about it, you can go to the Bitsgap main page, and here in blog there is an article related to this contest. Here's the specification, rewards. There is actually a team ranking reward and the requirements to be listed for this reward. There are also individual ranking rewards, and here is a step-by-step guide on how to join. Alright, so if you are already trading on OKX, that's the perfect opportunity for you to already join the team. But if you are not trading on OKX, then here is the link on how you can open your account on OKX and then connect to and join the Bitsgap team. Because together we have even more chances to take the first place. And here is a successful example. We participated in the Binance competition. The prize pool was, I think it was even higher than $200,000, and we've managed to take the 9th place. All right, so, and yeah, as we managed to take the 9th place, we were able to split the rewards between the traders. But now we are aiming, with the proven successful track record, we are aiming to take only first places. So yeah, together we can do this, I think. And yeah, if you have questions, I have some time for you to answer. Let me just open the chat box to see what questions you might have. Oh yeah, there is a question regarding the stop loss and stop loss using the trading up function. So let me show you once again. Let's say ZIL trading to USDT. So when you have your trailing up function on in SBot, let's say, and you have the stop loss function also on, so that means that the stop loss will also follow the trading range. So let's assume that you have a trading range over here and you have a stop loss right below the bottom limit price, and let's make it red. So as the price is moving upwards, so does the trading range, and so does the stop loss. So it is moving together with the trading range, because otherwise you would have a very wide risk zone. Yeah, but here's the idea, is to always maintain the defined configuration, and that means that the stop loss will automatically follow the trading range. So yeah, there is a question on how to close the bot, and okay, so I have here, let's close this one, that trading to USDT, and if I click on close, it's gonna tell me like, are you sure you want to close this bot? Okay, pretty straightforward. And open orders will be cancelled and bot results move to history. So when you click on close the bot, it has now cancelled, it has closed it, and it's gonna be shown in the history right here. So all of the bots that you had, you can always find them in the history. And let me show you maybe on the active account, on the real account, this example once again, how to close it. Let's say Litecoin to BNB. I click on close. So here, when it comes to real account trading, it has an option to sell my left LTC, to sell my base currency to BNB at market price automatically. So when I click on this box, as soon as I click on close the bot, it will sell automatically everything to the quote currency, in this case BNB. So that's my 100% exit from the market. Actually, I'm not gonna do this because I want to hold on to this trade, but just for the sake of the example, yes, we have this option to entirely close the position into the quote currency. So let's say you were trading BNB to USDT. When you say you click on close and you click on this on this box. Once you click on close the bot, it will sell this amount of BNB that you currently have in this trading setup. So you see, I have right now 5 BNBs, which are bought, and I have 230 USDT in buy orders. Alright, so if I click on close it and then click on the box, it will sell all of these BNBs to USDT, and I will be left only with the USDT in this case. Yeah, let me see if there are any other questions. How to know the best performed bots for the last 24 hours, 3 days and 1 week? Well, on the right side, click on strategies, and here you have monthly backtest results, which you can actually adjust. You can have weekly, so it will display to you all of the recommended strategies based on the results of the last week. If you click on 3 days, it's gonna use only 3 days backtest results. However, regarding the question of optimal bots, it's always how to say, there is no golden rule. The only way for you to become really professional at automated trading is by using demo trading, which we have for you absolutely risk-free. That's the way for you to find best configurations for your maybe favorable cryptocurrency pairs. All right, and depending on the current market conditions, strategies can vary significantly. So I'm gonna show you example. So let's say here it's IOTA trading to USDT, and I can see here quite impressive price action over the support level. So let's say that we are right now at that point of time right here, at the point of time when the price has already bounced off the support level. All right, so what I would do, I would enter the trade with having my upper limit price exactly corresponding to the previous higher high. Let's use the yellow one, and I would define my bottom limit right here. Why? Because okay, what can happen is that the price can drop to this support level, to my horizontal support level, which is defined by these lower lows. Lower low, higher high, higher high, you see? And I would have my, in this case, buy zone below the price, and I would have all of my other grid levels in the sell side. See, like this. So that would be my setup for the trend continuation strategy. So when I see that the price is confidently and it respects the support level, I would enter the trade with a wider sell zone and with a narrow, like I would have a small amount of buy limit orders, just in case if the price doesn't, I mean if the price won't start moving upwards from the point of my trade inception, but it would fall a little bit down below this level. And by the way, I would also for this configuration, I would also use the stop loss, which I would place right below this support level. So that's the way of how you can apply the technical analysis in your automated trading configurations. And another example that I will show you, let's say okay, I see that the price was also moving upwards for a quite prolonged period of time. And let's say we are at that point of time. At the point of time when the price has already breached the resistance level right here. So what I would do, I would wait for the market from that point to enter into the sideways. So you see that the sideways market has appeared right here. So I would enter the trade at that point over here, because globally I can see here that there is a upside moving up market, but locally it is currently in the sideways market formation. But in general the market is moving upwards, so from that point I consider the market to continue its global its prolonged upside momentum. So I consider it to break my upper limit price right here and then to follow the price appreciation. So right here I would enter with a trading up function on, just to make sure that once the price will breach the resistance level, my trading range will follow the price appreciation. So yeah, so that's the idea how to apply different technical analysis schemes into your bot configurations. And in order to find more use cases, go to the blog section on the main page, and here you have related to automated trading. Actually, you just click on trading bots, and here you have other use cases about the scalper, the S-bot, about the trading bot trading function. Yeah, so we have it right here. And you can also go to the YouTube channel and watch other webcasts that I had, where you will find even more past used cases. So once again, the formula would be to use demo account to trade risk-free, to discover your own strategies and to find optimal solutions, to attend webinars to get an in-depth storytelling of use cases, and simply practice. The more you trade, the more confident you become and the more efficient you become. That's the idea. And always, I recommend you always apply risk management, in this case the stop loss, to limit your losses. But in case you've forgotten to place the stop loss, in the example that I've shown you, there is a loss minimization effect, which is achieved by the added value, which is achieved by the profit generated by the bot on the downside market, which offsets the negative value change of your investment as the market is falling. But in any case, stop loss, in my opinion, is a must-have for your trading. So thanks for your attention, thanks for participating, and I would be glad to get your feedback. Just rate this webinar from the scale of 1 to 10 and write some recommendations for future webcasts, so I would be able to improve the step-by-step agenda. Maybe you want me to add some other sections. Yes, so in case if you have some unanswered questions, we have here this special button where you can ask the question. You can also ask the question during the next webinar. And yeah, regarding the competition, regarding the communication, we have our community, we have Telegram chats where you can participate and discuss, and together, combined, maybe in teams, united, yeah, discussing the trade opportunities on the market, entrants, like best entry prices, best exit prices, all of these things you can discuss during the contest. So basically that's the idea of the Telegram chat, to use it for communication. All right. So once again, thanks for your attention. Stay safe, stay tuned. See you next Thursday. And yeah, have a nice trading.